Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know how much we love digging into the latest advancements in AI, and today we're tackling a topic that's got me particularly fired up. The future of large language models. We're talking about what comes after transformers.
Yeah, everyone's heard of ChatGPT and all these LLMs, but what's next?
Exactly. And we've got some fascinating sources to guide us. A tech article from Decrypt that really dives into the limitations of transformers, and then we've got this piece from Tech Newsday. They're all over this new development from Google called Titans.
Oh, yeah, Titans. That's a pretty ambitious name.
No kidding. It sounds like they're trying to take down the titans of the AI world.
Yeah.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's set the stage here. What are transformers anyway? And why are they such a big deal in the world of AI?
Well, in the simplest terms, a transformer is kind of like a super-powered pattern recognizer. It looks at a sequence of data like words in a sentence and figures out how they all relate to each other. It's
Yeah.
been revolutionary for natural language processing.
There's always a but, right?
Yeah, right. The thing is, transformers have this thing called a context window. It's basically like their short-term memory. And the size of that window limits how much information they can process at once.
So the bigger the window, the smarter the AI.
You'd think so. But there's a catch. Making those windows bigger also makes the models ridiculously huge and computationally expensive. It's not very efficient.
Okay, so that's where Google's Titans come in. They're trying to solve this whole context window problem in a totally different way.
Right, exactly. Instead of just making the window bigger, they're giving the AI multiple ways to remember information, almost like a...
Like a human brain.
Exactly. It's wild. The Titans architecture combines three different memory systems, short-term, like
Yeah.
the classic transformer, long-term for stuff further back in the past, and even persistent memory for specific task knowledge. Like, think about how you remember how to ride a bike, even if you haven't done it in years.
It's amazing. So it's not just about cramming more information into one giant context window. It's about organizing and accessing it more efficiently, just like our brains do.
Precisely. And it seems to be working. The Decrypt article highlighted how Titans are actually outperforming some of those massive models like GPT-4 and Llama 3 just by being smarter about memory.
Okay, color me impressed. So Google's taking inspiration from the human brain,
Yeah.
but they even mentioned this needle in a haystack problem in their research paper.
Oh, yeah, that's a great analogy. Titans are designed to be able to quickly pinpoint a specific piece of information, even within massive amounts of data. It's all about efficient search and retrieval.
Which makes total sense. Our brains don't just store everything in one giant jumbled mess. We have systems for categorizing and recalling information, and it looks like Google's trying to replicate that with Titans.
Right. And get this. They even have this neural long-term memory module that learns how to memorize during testing, just like how our brains form memories. It's incredible. We're talking about AI that can learn and adapt in ways we've never seen before.
Mind officially blown. But Google isn't the only one pushing the boundaries here. There's another company, Sakana AI, that's taking a completely different approach.
Yeah, they're asking, what if AI could reconfigure itself on the fly? And they call it Transformer Squared.
Transformers squared. Okay, you have to break that down for me. What does that even mean?
So instead of one giant model that tries to do everything, Sakana's building smaller, specialized modules, almost like little expert AIs that can be mixed and matched depending on the task at hand. And they use this technique called singular value fine-tuning, or SVF, which lets them tweak only the parts of the model that need changing.
So it's not about retraining the whole model every time. It's about making targeted adjustments.
It's exactly, and that could have huge implications for the efficiency and accessibility of AI. Imagine not needing massive server farms to run these models. What if you could run them locally on your phone or laptop?
Okay, hold on. Now we're talking about AI that's both powerful and accessible.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
And their test results are seriously impressive, especially when it comes to handling unexpected situations. Imagine an AI that can adapt to things it's never seen before.
All right, now I'm really intrigued. So we've got Google building AI with brains and Sakana AI building AI that can rewire itself. What a time to be alive, right?
It seems like the days of just bragging about model size are over.
Yeah. It's not about brute force anymore. It's about elegance and efficiency. It's about taking inspiration from the most complex and adaptable system we know, the human brain.
And that's what makes this so exciting. We're not just building machines, we're building tools that could help us solve some of the world's most pressing problems. If we can harness this power responsibly, the possibilities are truly limitless. It's really amazing to think about how far we've come. For so long, the focus in AI has been all about making these models bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it was all about who had the most massive model with the most parameters.
Right. But now we're seeing this shift, this realization that maybe bigger isn't always better.
It's like we were saying before. Google's Titans are showing that you can outperform those massive models by being more strategic with memory.
Exactly. And Sakana AI's approach with Transformer Squared, it takes that idea even further. It's like they're asking, what if AI could actually adapt and specialize in real time, just like our brains do?
I keep thinking about that analogy. They compared their model to how our brains learn new skills.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Instead of retraining this massive model every time you wanted to do something new, you could just fine-tune the specific parts that need to change.
Right. It's like highlighting the key points in a textbook instead of rereading the whole thing every time you need to remember something. Think about the implications for efficiency.
Oh, yeah. We could have AI
Yeah.
that's so much more accessible. What if you didn't need these huge server farms to run these powerful models?
Exactly. What if you could run them locally on your own device? Think about the applications. We could have truly personalized AI assistants that adapt to your needs in real time.
Hold on. Are we talking about AI that could actually become more human-like?
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? While they're still far from replicating the full complexity of our brains, these models are becoming more and more sophisticated.
So maybe it's less about AI becoming human and more about AI learning from the efficiency of biological systems.
Precisely. It's about moving beyond brute force computation and towards more nuanced, adaptable forms of intelligence. But this all raises some pretty big questions.
You're right. All this potential is exciting, but what about the potential downsides?
That's what everyone's thinking, right? Could these new architectures lead to AI that's harder to control, harder to understand, especially if they're constantly reconfiguring themselves?
Yeah. How do we make sure these self-learning systems stay aligned with our goals as they evolve?
It's a huge responsibility. But alongside those ethical considerations, there's also a sense of wonder. I mean, if we can crack this, if we can create AI that learns and evolves as effectively as we do, think about what we could accomplish.
It feels like we're on the verge of a whole new era. It's exciting and, yeah, maybe a little bit scary too.
But we've got these amazing sources to guide us. We've talked about Google's Titans research, and that Decrypt article was pretty insightful.
Definitely. They provided some great food for thought.
Let's see what other insights we can glean about the future of AI beyond Transformers, because this conversation is far from over.
So we keep coming back to this idea, this shift in how we think about AI.
Yeah, it's not just about making it bigger anymore.
Right. It's about efficiency, adaptability. Like how Titans are using these multiple memory systems.
In the Decrypt article, they made a really interesting point about how this could lead to a whole new wave of AI development.
Oh, yeah. The Cambrian explosion of AI architectures.
Exactly. Instead of everyone just building on the same basic transformer model, we could see a whole ecosystem of different approaches, each one optimized for specific tasks.
So instead of one giant AI trying to do it all, we might have all these specialized AIs working together, kind of like team of experts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that could make AI so much more integrated into our lives.
Okay, so think beyond chatbots and text generators. What are we talking about here? Real-world applications.
Oh, absolutely. The Tech Newsday article, they talked about how Titans could revolutionize things like natural language processing, genomics, even time series analysis.
Whoa. So we're talking about AI that can analyze DNA sequences, predict stock market trends.
Exactly. And if you combine that with Sakana AI's idea of self-reconfiguring models, it gets really interesting.
Things could change very quickly. It's a
Right.
little mind-blowing.
Imagine an AI that can analyze your entire medical history, your genetic makeup, your current symptoms, and give you personalized health advice.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. But we should probably be realistic here. This is all still very experimental.
Right, of course. These are still early days.
Yeah.
It'll take time for these ideas to mature, but the potential is definitely there.
And the fact that we're even having these conversations, it feels like a turning point. Like we're witnessing a fundamental shift in how we approach AI.
It's not just about making AI bigger. It's about making it smarter, more adaptable, and ultimately more beneficial to humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So to everyone listening, keep an eye on this space. The future of AI is unfolding right before our eyes.
It's going to be an incredible journey. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll be back soon to explore more fascinating developments in the world of artificial intelligence. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.